In this video, we are looking in this book, Sigil and the Outlands. Do you know what the hell Planescape is? I kinda don't, but we're going to find out together. So in the PHB, we have this great wheel, and there's Gehenna, the Nine Hells, Mechanus, all these different areas, and they all have a door in which leads to Planescape content. Because Sigil, in the middle of the Outlands, is kind of where this all takes place. And in each one of these outer areas, there's a door from the door on the Great Wheel. Shortcuts, if you will. Planescape comes with this lovely map. It has all the outer areas where these other doors lead to. Through these doors bleed parts of these other realms, but they have to be somewhat different. Otherwise, they become fully a part of, let's say, the Nine Hells, which you reach through this ribcage thing. All seems a bit vague, right? There's doors. You're in the Nine Hells, you see a door, you go through the door, it brings you to this gate town. A gate town is in the Outlands. You fast travelled to the Outlands next to Sigil, the afterlife, if you will. The other side of this map is Sigil itself, with its high courts and great foundry and its own gatehouse. Then there's also mention of the wards, Market Ward, Clark's Ward, so you can actually venture around the streets with this map. So it's called the City of Doors, it's the afterlife, what else? Planescape provides glimpses of the daily lives of gods, angels, and demons, and how they act when mortals aren't their primary concern. This art here shows them hanging out in a bar. It describes it as literally the centre of infinity. I think I'm going to think of it as the back rooms, the behind the scenes of reality. But it's somewhere you can have adventures also. The character options in this book, not the most amazing. Gate Warden, you spent a significant amount of time influenced by intense planar forces or a portal to another plane of existence. You're as comfortable dealing with celestials and fiends as you are with the vendors in town. Persuasion and survival are your proficiencies, a little bit of nonsense equipment. The feature, you gain the Scion of the Outer Planes feat. Gate Warden personality traits. I speak with an unusual cadence. Okay. Trinkets, just some bits and bats. Or there's Planar Philosopher. You draw strength from conviction and perhaps a network of like-minded thinkers, such as the factions of Sigil. Skill proficiencies are Arcana, and one of your choice. Possible factions that you can be linked to. 12 factions. An explanation of each one, like Mercy Killers, cold, relentless justice is absolute and no one is above it. Feature, you gain the Scion of the Outer Planes feat. We'll look at that in a sec. Get free lodgings, pretty standard stuff. Planar Philosophy personality trait, experience is everything, living the moment. Table of trinkets, you can create your own faction. How about that? So, feats. Scion of the Outer Plane feat. Your connection to an outer plane infuses you with the energy there. Choose a type of plane listed in this table. Your choice gives you resistance to a damage type and the ability to cast a cantrip as specified in the table. Planar infusions then. So the feats here have a prerequisite of having Scion of the Outer Planes feat. Agent of Order gives you an ability score increase once per turn. With Stasis Strike, once per turn, you damage a creature within 60 foot, you deal an extra 1d8 force damage, have it make a wisdom save, and it does the damage that whatever you've chosen from the Scion of the Outer Planes. As spectral buildings try to ensnare it. Target is restrained until the end of the start of its next turn. Is that of interest to anybody? Baleful Scion, once per turn, damage a creature within 60 feet, you do necrotic damage equal to 1d6 plus proficiency. And you regain hit points equal to the necrotic damage dealt. Cohort of Chaos, increased ability score. Chaotic Flare, when you roll a 1 or a 20 on an attack or saving throw, roll a d4 and consult one of these. Battle Fury, a creature of your choice you can see is filled with Reckless Fury. It has ability on attack rolls and disadvantage on ability checks. Disruption Field. Every creature that starts its turn within 5 feet of you takes 1d8 force damage. Unbound. Teleport yourself and all your equipment up to the distance used to an unoccupied space you can see. Wailing Winds. Wind surrounds you. Outlands Envoy. You learn Misty Step and Tongues. Planar Wanderer. Your experience with portals allows you to open them up without a portal key. Ooh, as an action, concentrate on a portal, make an Arcana check. On a failed check, you take 3d8 psychic damage. Jesus. You know the direction to the last planar portal you used. Well, yeah, you might have just been there. Righteous Heritor. Use your reaction to reduce damage taken by 1d10 plus prof bonus. And that's feats. As a DM, none of them were exciting. 2 new spells, Warp Sense and Gate Seal. Gate Seal, you fortify the fabric of the planes in a 30-foot cube. Portals close and can't be opened. Spells and other effects that do travel don't. Warp Sense, you sense a portal within 30 feet of you. You learn the destination of the portal. Again, personally, not interesting. So where is Sigil? It exists at the centre of the Great Wheel and nowhere. It's like heaven. It's like, where's heaven, you know? Sigil floats above the apex of the Spire. Attempts to ascend to the city by climbing or flight are futile, as are efforts to reach the top of the Spire. And then it says, once inside the city. Well, how do you get there then? A door, I guess. Once inside the city, a visitor is greeted by a vast urban tangle of bladed buildings. Yes. 24-hour day-night cycle. It fills with luminescence and fades into deep darkness. It's got no sun. It's like heaven. It's infinite lot of light, I guess. Well, not infinite because it goes dark. Alterations to magic. Effects that banish a target treat the target as if Sigil were its home plane. Astral projection and plane shift fail if they try to enter or leave Sigil. Permanent teleportation circles exist within Sigil. Those with permission can use them to enter the city via the plane shift spell, but not to leave. Getting around. 2 services exist to help travellers find their way. Sedan chairs and touts. Sedan chairs are chairs carried by burly types, like a taxi service. Cost 1 silver. Carry 2 medium or small creatures, but they won't go to under Sigil. Tout is like a guide, 2 silver, they'll walk you around. Most portals aren't always open, instead they open at certain times when a certain condition is met, in response to a command word or phrase, or when a traveller is holding a particular object called a portal key. Portals are usually invisible when they're inactive, but they can be detected by true seeing or warp sense. Portal key can be any sort of object or a particular key created for that portal. Some portals have magic quirks. One way. The portal functions only one way. The portal isn't visible or detectable from the other side. You can get a level of exhaustion. Only allows so many people through. Every time you use it, it requires a different portal key. So here is some of the portals and their keys. Do we know what a portal anchor is? Because I don't. So the Lady of Pain is a masked woman who no one knows the identity of, as far as I can tell. She maintains a cosmic neutrality, doesn't take part in the Blood War, and doesn't throw her weight around. The lady's means of protecting Sigil are the Dabus, the mazes, and her complete control over the city's portals. Dabus are floating beings found only in Sigil, communicated through visual rebuses, conjured illusory images that convey their thoughts. What? Mazes are cages created by Lady of Pain. The mazes swallow prisoners in an instant. It's like a labyrinth of empty streets. No magic allows a creature to escape or communicate with the planes beyond. Gods are barred from setting foot in the city, but their minions are allowed in. Then there are factions. Factions are led by individuals known as factols. The leaders embody their group's philosophies and serve different roles depending on their faction's needs. Let's just take one for an example. Doomguard. The factol is called Pentar. Headquarters is the Armory. Elemental Chaos is the Aligned Plane. The Doomguard understand the purpose of everything is to crumble. Existence inevitably falls into ruin. Nothing lasts forever, not even the gods. Sinkers see decay and entropy is entirely natural. Something to be fostered in its own time. Well, these are a happy bunch. Faction attire. Members of the Doomguard garb themselves in the bones of long-dead creatures and deliberately allow their weapons and gear to rust. The Doomguard controls the armory in Sigil and oversees the production of sales of weapons in the city. What, are they all rusted then? Thanks to the quality and number of armaments required by the factions, the Doomguard holds leverage in many interfactional negotiations. I am bored. The City of Doors is divided into wards that are varied. Each ward contains one or more faction headquarter, which is a grand building where Sigil's philosophers convene and divide the city's functions. Right, Clark's ward sounds quite quite boring. Sounds too legal for me, but got some lovely art. Hall of Records. Yeah, not my bag. Let's go something. Hive Ward. Look at this. This is more interesting. Neglected by the Dabus and the generosity of other wards, the Hive Ward has fallen into disrepair. Its buildings are lopsided hodgepodges of architectural style and materials. Crime is commonplace. Pickpockets masquerade as touts. Of all the wards, the Hive Ward has the least oversight. Harmonium patrols are less frequent here. Some encounters. 2 ettercaps hiss at the characters from an abandoned tenement building cocooned in thick webbing. The building belongs to the Spite Spinners, a gang of arachnid bandits and their boss, a Dark Weaver, which does look cool in the monster manual thing. So you have basically only 8 ideas on encounters. Let's look. The factions. Bleak Cabal. Within the Gatehouse, members of the Bleak Cabal reject the philosophies of other factions, believing the multiverse is devoid of meaning. Locations. The Bottle and Jug is a drinkery. This mass of steel, barbed wire and black granite is owned by Beatrice Baslan, a flightless Erinez who won the joint but lost her wings in a high-stakes match against its previous owner and his 2 trolls. Fell here is a Dabus who runs a tattoo parlour. Magical tattoos. What, like dragon marks then? At the DM's discretion, Fell can reproduce any of the tattoos described in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. He charges 60 gold for a common one, and etc, etc. Oh, and in this section is the mortuary. There is actually a £10 extra D&D Beyond thing with extra maps in for this. Then is it literally just bits of other wards? Looks like ward after ward, but not that much. Okay, Under Sigil, yes. The snaking labyrinth of ancient tunnels binds long-standing city structures to subterranean criminal crossroads, flooded cisterns, and a seemingly endless catacombs. Okay, adventures in Sigil. Adventure hooks. A lost soul asks the party to escort them to the home of their deity, who no one's ever heard of. A group tries to kidnap a character, as the character is the key to the portal the group plans to use. That's quite good. If you're involved in a faction, here's something. A factol hires the characters to dig up dirt on a rival faction leader. Calamities. Sigil begins to shudder daily at peak and anti-peak, causing a citywide panic. Here's some roll table action going on. We'll get to the monster stat block book soon enough. And of course, it's not all about Sigil at the top here. It's just as much about the Outlands. The Outlands are a plane of cordon opposition, a disc-shaped plane of perfect neutrality. Arid, flame-scarred plains give way to heroic mountain ranges sculpted in the likeness of gods, moulded caverns ruled by sapient fungi, bottomless seas, and anything else that makes for great adventures. It's like a mini Faerun in space. When a location embodies the nature of one of the outer planes too closely, that plane absorbs the location and its inhabitants, restoring balance to the Outlands and expanding that plane. It has to be somewhat different to the location on the other side of the door. A ring of 16 evenly spaced towns equidistant to the Spire lies at the edge of the Outlands. Each is constructed around a portal to one of the other of the outer planes, and these gate towns are dramatically influenced by the realms they border. So let's just stick with the first one, Automata. Automata? Let's call the whole thing off. Automata is a machine of law and order. The town's right-angled, nearly identical establishments flummox visitors, but the friendly modern residents that make up the bulk of its population navigate the intuitive grid of numbered streets with ease. It's all about order, like a machine that runs like clockwork. That is your main inspiration. The Great Modron March is being done in past editions. You could probably look that up. I mean, it just looks pretty cool. Everything's like alive and mechanical. Fleeing interplanar bounty hunters, a 3-horned tiefling named Romarillo seeks refuge on one of the upper planes. Romarillo asks the characters to sneak them aboard the Concordant Express. But there's only that. There's only a page and a half. Noteworthy sites. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Cursed. A place of outcasts. Noteworthy sites. Burgomaster's Estate, The Dump, Traitor's Gate. That's it. 4 possible adventures hooks. I mean, yeah. I reckon you'd have to go and do some research on the previous editions, which came out over 5 years of releases, let's not forget. Other realms. Outside the gate towns lie walking castles, the lairs of timeless evils and godly realms ruled by deities who dwell among their worshippers. Caverns of Thought. The spies of Ilsensine report to the Caverns of Thought, a hostile realm of alien tunnels deep beneath the Outlands, cold and calculating. Eaters of knowledge along with mind flayers protect the hive mind, which intersects with Zemnid's realm. Zemnid's realm. Tall, spindly mountains rise and curl above the noxious realm of Zemnid, the gas giant. The Beholder, god of deception, fumes and fog. The offspring of the Great Mother, the eldritch matriarch from which all beholders descend. Ooh, what have we stumbled upon here? He lurks within a deadly network of smooth tunnels, obscured by toxic clouds and laced with traps and illusions. So what I'm getting from that, I'm imagining the Outlands to be a huge pizza where it's cut into all quadrants. Cut into pizza slices, but every pizza slice is a completely different pizza. It's all flavoured different. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like that film Wreck-It Ralph, where they go through all the different video games. It's like that. I imagine walking around, it just all changes dramatically. Quite cool. You can have all sorts of different adventures in one place, and I hope that's what this has. A good adventure in all different areas. Check out that coming video to see what's in that book. And I've been reading it. It's pretty good, pretty excited. So the gods aren't allowed into Sigil. So you could send your adventurers through portals to meet there, to debate with demons and high celestials. That would be the place to do it. I just need more than what's in that book, it seems. And judging by the past releases, I doubt we'll get anything else on Planescape for a long time. Just like Spelljammer and Dragonlance, I imagine. So I think it's up to us to go digging. Anyway, let's look into another book in another video. Thanks for watching, thanks for your time. And if you watched right to the end, here's a cool picture, and please comment with a crown emoji to show that you are the best of the best viewers.